Assalamu alaikum, my dear student. How are you? I think all of you are well. I am also well. I am Porimal Merida in front of you. Today we will discuss about complex number. You know, complex number is the second chapter of your second paper, higher mathematics. Today we will discuss about this topic, complex number. So today our topic is complex number. Complex number. Before starting the complex number, I want to know some information for you. If I asked you what is the value of root 2, you know value of root 2 is 1.41421356237 and so on. Similarly, what is the value of root 3? Root 3 equals to 1.732050807756 and so on. Similarly, value of root 5 2.236067977 and so on. In this process, we can find the value of root 100, root 121, root 139 as you wish. But if I asked you what is the value of root over minus 2, what is the value of root over minus 3, what is the value of root over minus 5. Very interesting matter is that you know the value of root 2, root 3, root 5, but you don't know what is the value of root 2, root 3, root 5. Because is that this is the new item for you. Item is complex number. So today we will discuss about complex number. I have already told you that what is the value of root over minus 2, you don't know. What is the value of root over minus 3, don't know. Root 5, you don't know. But if you simplify, root over minus 2 equals to root over minus 1 into 2, root over minus 3 equals to root over minus 1 into 3, root over minus 5 equals to root over minus 1 into 5. Then very interesting fact is that before every number, before every digit, there is a minus sign. Minus 1 into 2, minus 1 into 3, minus 1 into 2. Now again, if you simplify, root over minus 1 into root 2 equals to root over minus 1 into root over 2. Now you know the value of root over 2. So root over minus 1 into root over minus 2. Value of root over minus 2, I have already told that root over minus 2 equals to 1.7320507756 and so on. Again, root over minus 3, root over minus 1 into root over 3, root over eta equals to root over minus 1 into root over 5. So problem is here. What is the problem? Problem is root over minus 1 for every numbers. That is, if you are given root over minus 139, then root over 139 can be written as root over minus 1 into root over 139. Then you know the value of root over 139, but you don't know what is the value of root over minus 1. In mathematics, complex number is introduced for this minus 1, nothing else. Now question for you, what is the application of root over minus 1? What is the application of a complex number? Nothing else. This is the punishment for the cadets. I don't know still now what is the application of a complex number. This is only for introduced in mathematics, complex number, for the calculation of mathematics, for the advance of mathematics. Now if we consider root over minus 1, why root over minus 1? Again I repeat, because for every complex number there is a minus 1. So now if you can clarify what is the value of root over minus 1. Now if I consider root over minus 1 equals to, suppose it is p, then problem is not solved. Now if you consider it is root over p square, then a square and a square root, it is cancelled, then it can be written as p. Problem is solved. Again, root over minus 1, if you consider it is root over q square, then it is also q. Again, root over minus 1 equals to root over z square, then it is z. So you will get different letters. Sometimes it is p, sometimes it is q, sometimes it is z. For this problem in mathematics, the mathematician, they have considered this root over minus 1 by a special letter. What is the special letter? Since this is not a real number, in case of a complex number, it is related to the imaginary number. So since it is root over minus 1, it is an imaginary number. In the word imaginary, first letter is I. So root over minus 1, it is considered as I square. It is considered as I square. Why it is I square? Why not I? Because if you consider here it is I, then there is a square root. You cannot simplify this algebraic expression, but if you consider root over I square, then I square and square root, it will be removed, and finally you will get only I. Since first letter of imaginary part it is I, so it is considered as I. Similarly, all the problem you can consider it is I square, it is I. Now if it is root over 25, root over 25 equals to, you can write it is minus 1 into 25. Now root over minus 1 equals to I square into 25, I square, root over I square equals to I, and root 25, it is 5, I into 5, that is, it is 5I. This is the modified form of root over 25, root over minus 25. So minus 25 equals to 5I. So I is introduced for negative number, where root over minus 1 equals to I square. Now we will know what is the complex number exactly, what is the definition of a complex number. You know about real number. In case of complex number, there are two separate parts. One is real part, another one is imaginary part. So if you consider any number of the form a plus ib, or capital letter A plus ib, this is known as the complex number, where A and B are the member of real number. A and B both are the real number, but if you follow here, there is a I term, I with B. So A and B separately both are the real number, no problem, but IB, there is a I term with B. This IB, this is the imaginary part, imaginary part of the complex number, imaginary part of the complex number. So for any types of complex number, you will get P plus IQ, Z plus IC, or Q plus IR. Everywhere there is an item. Where there is an item, this is known as the imaginary part, and I free term, this is known as the real part. So complex number is divided into two parts. Is the sum of two numbers. One is real number, another one is imaginary number. So you can write complex number C equals to real number plus imaginary number. C equals to R plus I. Complex number is the sum of real number and complex number. Now we will learn how a complex number is expressed. In case of a complex number, there are different forms. Suppose C plus ID, this is a complex number. P plus IQ, this is a complex number. Now C plus ID, P plus IQ for different form. This complex number is expressed by the capital letter Z. But if you are given more than one complex number, that is 2 or more than 2 complex number, then first one is denoted by Z1 and second one is denoted by Z2. Z2. So Z1 equals to C plus ID and Z2 equals to P plus IQ. Okay, thank you. Next class we will try to solve some problems related to the complex number. Thank you all.